Okay. Whew. Just scared me. I don't know why it's making me do it on my personal page and then sharing it on my Black Women's Guide page. I'm going to do that as a later issue. But now it's live. And we are live on the interwebs.
It's on your personal page?
It's on my personal page for sure. I'm going to check now the Black Women's Guide page and see if it's up.
Okay.
I just shared it with you on your Facebook. Like I tagged you.
Oh, okay.
So you can share it. And I'm gonna share it on the Black Women's Guide page and see if it will show up there. But yeah, I want to make this on the Black Women's Guide. Okay, coming together. That's a tech issue I'm gonna have to look into. Okay, so now we're live on the Black Women's Guide page. So if you go to the page, you should be able to see it, and seeing you with your face cut off, and everybody will be like, why are you here?
I am going now.
Perfect. So I'm gonna close it. All right. But you can look and see it, you can share it, and we'll kick it off. Once you have done that, you can see everything. Chicks and Caboodles, Patrece Morris.
Yeah, Morrison. Mm-hmm.
Morrison, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Or you can just call me Davis if you're, just Patrece.
Patrece, just Patrece. Well, and then I'll give you a minute to introduce yourself and share what you.
All right. Okay, I'm sharing it, so I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Done. Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Black Women's Guide show. And I am here with the CEO and founder of Chicks and Caboodles, jewelry and looks like design line. And I'm here with the founder, Patrece Davis Morrison, who's going to talk with us today just about everything about building a business, doing a craft with your hands, what that experience is like, and how she built her business to a full-time company that she runs, and all the kind of things around that. So I want to just say thank you so much for being on the show, and just give you some space to give your introduction.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me, Dominique. It was truly an honor that you guys reached out to me. And I'm just excited to be a part of this. I really, really love your page and what y'all are doing as far as business-wise. So we thank you for that. And yes, I'm ready to do this.
Awesome. And I just put on headphones because of feedback loop. I want to make sure we have good sound for this. So I would love for you just to kind of start off. So a lot of the women who are watching this are makers, they're crafters, they're building things. But as I'm sure you know, it's very difficult actually to build a business, particularly one that's kind of craft-based, accessories, kind of beauty. So just talk to me about how you decided to go into this particular industry.
It started as a hobby. It started as a hobby, and then some of the females that I knew were wanting to purchase my material. And I was just like, what? Like I wouldn't sell this, I was just like, this is unbelievable. I wouldn't sell this. I didn't even know what to price it at, So needless to say, a lot of my friends wanted to purchase my items. So I started doing it. I started building the brand. I started building my business. I started vending at different events and just getting my name out there and basically studying others that were in the same line. I'd study what they're doing. Why are they successful? What are they doing to build their company? Why is their brand here? And mine is here. So I did that, and I studied just other women that were in the industry, and I build from that. But just to answer your question, it started as a craft, pretty much. It started just me hobby crafting.
And that's normally how it goes. And for everyone who's listening and watching, I do have my phone up. So if you have questions for Patrece or whatever, you can put them in, and I'll see them on Facebook Live, and I will make sure I get them out to her, even though we're having a little bit of a weird tech day here. So I want to make sure you guys know that for sure. So awesome. So I think for a lot of women that really resonates, like it, starts as a hobby, kind of goes in something else, but most people don't really take it to the next level, right? They're kind of like, oh yeah, I do a little bit here and there, and it kind of always stays in the side hustle. So when did you decide that this was legitimate? Like, okay, I'm going to take it from this kind of thing I kind of do to becoming, Patrece, the CEO of Chicks and Caboodle. Everyone's going to know me for that thing.
When I set foot at that courthouse to get my paperwork, I think that's when I was really like, I'm doing this,
Right.
Like I'm legit, and I'm doing this, and when I got that paperwork and it was signed, sealed, and approved, I was just like, okay, I mean, you can't do anything but go up from there, and I think that it is so much of a passion for me. Like I would probably give it away, for free. Like that's how much I enjoy doing what I do. So I knew that I would not put it down,
Gotcha.
if you could understand that, So I'm not going to say that it's being easy, but it did resonate when I went and I got my paperwork, when I was legal, when I got legal and got all my documentation and stuff. I think that's when I was just like, hey, I'm an owner of a business, that's when it really hit home for me.
Gotcha. And then I feel you. I got my LLC like 10 years ago, and I remember just being like, what? Like super excited. And like, even though I did a bunch of different things under the LLC, it was just still like, oh, I have a business. Like I have this entity and it's mine, and I get to nurture it, right? So when you got your kind of paperwork, did you go full time into this, or were you working part time? Did you transition? Like, what was that like?
I was working part-time and I transitioned into this, so and that's any advice that I would give anyone that's starting out to stack your paper, get your bank account real fluffy, and then kind of branch out, you'll know when it's time for you, to do it full time, per success. Or, if you're just not happy, some people just, they're not happy in that job that they're doing. But yeah, I think that I starting out, with a little part-time job or full-time job, whatever, works for you and your family, because you have to take the whole picture into consideration. If you're out there and you're an entrepreneur, you don't want to make rash decisions. You don't want to just, hey, I'm just going to go out here, I'm going to do this. You have to have some type of safety net, I would say.
How long did you do part-time before you went full-time? How long was the transition?
I've been doing this since 2012. So I've been working, and I just exited my job August the 13th of 2016. So,
all right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a moment. No one, anyone who's in a business knows this moment is real. It's a real moment. Yeah.
It's real. Like it's real now. Like I got to get out there and get it. So it's real.
Yeah. No, but that's awesome. I mean, so 3 years, and that's like, oh, come back. Hopefully she'll come back in a second. I will cover in a minute. I think we can hear you, but can't see you for a second. Okay, there you go. And don't worry, we will edit this so it will all be smooth in the replay. But no, I think that's amazing because, I talk to a lot of women who say, I just don't like my job, or I'm over it, or I have like 6 months of savings and I'm going to be good. And I'm like, girl, you need like 2 years of savings. Like, and not because you need 2 years to live, but you need that amount of cash to reinvest in the business, right?
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about like the spend. So you're working part-time, you started 2012, you worked part-time for 4 years as you built your business. Talk to me about the cash flow. Like, how did you just, everything you had, you reinvested? Were you actually taking some profit from it? Like, when did it become actually profitable, even though you were working part-time?
I want to say it became really profitable when I started launching my jewel box. When I
Gotcha.
did my subscription box, that's when, and again, I know we were talking earlier about this, but if you have other streams or avenues of income coming into your business, because jewelry, it is kind of thready, because everybody is doing jewelry. Everyone is, you can pretty much find a lot of people that are doing the same thing that you're doing, so you kind of have to reinvent yourself. So launching the subscription box really was my time. I was like, okay, all right, so this is a steady income coming in monthly, so if you got 50 subscribers, so that was enough for me to come home,
Gotcha.
so yeah. But you do want to reinvest, even if you do have a part-time job, you do want to take those funds at your part-time job. You don't want to put all of it into your company, but you want to make a list, whether it's a monthly list, a weekly list, whatever works best for you. But I would have a monthly list. Okay, this is what I'm going to do this month. Where am I reinvesting in my company this month? How am I going to rebuild my company? And that could be through networking. It could be through paying to go to events, paying for your services, as far as, workshops or whatever for, getting just schooled on business, learning the business side of it. So you want to reinvest in yourself, reinvest in your business, to build a good foundation. And a lot of money goes towards branding as well. You want to brand yourself. You want to get out there,
Talk to me a little bit about the subscription box. So for those of you guys watching who are kind of new to your business, what Patrece is talking about is she's a couple of different business models working within her business, right? She has kind of this custom, you can buy one unique piece, but she also has a subscription, which is like every month they get something for you. And if you're in the world, you notice this happening on everything. Your cell phone bill is, insurance is now monthly. You can buy your phone almost like a lease, and you can just upgrade to a new phone, right? So subscription is like this kind of way to mitigate risk because you have this consistent cash flow. So talk to me about why you decided to do subscription, and what are some of the challenges, or like how did you, every box is a little bit different. So how did you structure your box that you think made it work so well?
I think because the pieces that I put in the box are different every month. Every month you get a different piece. I hand make the pieces. If there's too many boxes to ship out, sometimes I may put a boutique item in it, because there's no way I can make 30 boxes worth of jewelry, and get it out timely. So sometimes I will do that as a fail safe. But the box, basically, why I came up with the box is to add that other avenue, of income through my business, because everybody may not want a custom piece of jewelry and I'll say it like this. Okay, you want to purchase a custom necklace. That's just one item. That's one item. But if they get the box, they subscribe to the box monthly at $30 a month, and you get beautiful pieces, it takes the fuss out of shopping, it comes direct to your doorstep. So that brought in more revenue. I don't know. It's a trend now. Boxes are in. Everybody, I think women love getting things in the mail. I know I do. Like, ooh, it's a box. I got something, and but you paid for it.
Right.
But they like it.
Yeah. Trust me, I have many subscriptions. Yes, I agree. It's definitely a trigger point. It's like a gift for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you feel that way.
It was successful. The box was successful for me, and I ended up stepping away from my job, and it just opened up a lot of opportunity for me to work from home.
Gotcha. Now, are people giving you like, here's my style palette, here's the colors I like what's happening with that?
No, they like it,
Nice.
and that's a blessing, that I haven't had to do that, because a lot of people may not like what I put in the box, some people are more simplicity, they like simplicity, they like the small necklaces, or so they don't know what they're going to get in my box, because every month it is a surprise, so I'm just blessed that they don't care, that they don't really care about the details of it.
Do you have like a box from last month available, or something you can show people to say what's in the box to get a sense?
I don't have a box available from last month. I mean, I would just have just the box itself to show you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the jewels.
Sure.
It's gone. Like what I make, I don't repeat. So whatever you get in the box, it's gonna be custom, and I'm not gonna make it again. It's specific. Yeah, it's specific for that box and for the subscription. So whatever I put in the box, you won't see it again.
So talk to me about how you see scale, because one of the things I talked to a lot of Black women about, and I'm a very strong proponent, I have an opinion about this, is about wealth building, and how a lot of times for Black women and for Black businesses, we oftentimes can feed ourselves through our business, but we kind of can't really feed others necessarily. We can't really kind of hire staff and whatnot. So how do you see the growth of your business in a way that can actually build wealth for you and your community, by growing your revenue? If you're doing everything custom, how do you see that happening?
That's why I have the other outlets.
Gotcha.
If you're doing custom jewelry, if I was just doing the custom jewelry, I really don't see that. There's no way, So that's when I implemented the subscription box. That's why I implemented the beading parties, the Color Me Pretty beading parties.
Right.
Yeah, if you wanted the painting with a twist, but it's not painting with a twist, it's beading parties. I teach the girls how to make a necklace, and I coach them through it, and it's just like a paint party, but it's beading. So that's why I have all of those different things to kind of build upon, to have that niche per se.
So just break it down for me so I make sure I'm clear. So you have the subscription box, you have one-off like custom orders like that are just completely separate from the box, and then you have beading parties. And so there's nothing about currently. You have some systems that are repeatable, but nothing about the product is yet. You're not selling the same earrings ever. Like there's no situation where I could go online and go, oh, I like your Instagram picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you have like just regular product that you make.
Yeah, I have regular product on my site. Some of it I don't even make. I put wholesale pieces on my site just as a filler.
You're just curating. You're just curating. Gotcha. So I love this because this is actually a really awesome example of like, everyone thinks they have to be so unique. Like I have to make something that no one's ever seen. And like, that's almost impossible at this day and age. But there's something about curation that people really were not taking advantage of. When we think about Black women, we think about Black people and just how much we add to culture and define culture. We kind of forget that we are these kind of cultural epitomes. And if we say we think this is stylish, that means something, right? And so people will just pay you for your curation separate of you actually making something. And that's like so powerful that you've created a business that combines the two. Because most people, when I talk to them, they kind of go, yeah, I have the side hustle. I like buy this stuff when I kind of sell. They don't see it as part of their brand.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But you pulled it into your brand. It's like, this is just part of me. That's awesome.
Yes, you have to. I mean, it's very competitive out there, and you have to create different things. Each year with the new year, you gotta sit down and say, okay, let's look at the business. Okay, what we got going on, and you have to build from there. Like every year, you have to be in with the end. What's trending now? How can we do it? But how can we do it differently? So it always keeps you on your toes, but I stay grounded through the word of God, and he is big enough. And I mean, it's truly a blessing. I mean, I just have to give all the glory and honor to God, where it's due, because he has taken me thus far, but
what you're sharing is the openness that you have. You're sharing what you're sharing is, and every entrepreneur that I talk to that does well, they are so open to whether it's spiritual, emotional, physical, they're just open to suggestion. I talked to a lot of women who are like, my business has to go like this. It has to look like this. I want to do this. And it's so strict. It gives them no flexibility to experience the way life is moving, right? Yes. And what you're talking about is like, I just incorporated. I said, hey, that's interesting. That looks like something's happening there. I need to bring it in. And just open to that flow.
I mean, I love what I do. I truly, truly do. And I love giving back. I'm so busy, like my calendar is so full. And, but I have people inboxing me all the time asking, listen, who's your photographer? How did you do this? And I'm just like, girls, like, I don't have a photographer. I take my own photos. I teach, you have to be the master of all trades in your business, because you will go broke trying to pay for that brand.
Everybody for everything.
How you want your brand to look. I would suggest that you try to master that skill. Master that skill, because it is just so it could get very, very expensive out there. But I want all the viewers to know, if you need any help as far as graphics or anything, shoot me a line. I will help. Like, I have
awesome.
I help so many, and because we don't do that as a community, we don't help each other. But I've been helping so many people behind the scenes, and I find joy in doing it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I had to fall. I'm serious. Like, I had to learn things on my own. So I want to be different in that area. I want to give back, and I want to help the next female entrepreneur, where they need help, to say, hey, don't do it that way. You can save this amount of money if you do it this way, so.
Well, I think you're speaking to is like, tenacity, but what's also really important here, and I think not just for Black women entrepreneurs, but for young entrepreneurs, is the patience. Right. Yeah. It was 4 years. Like, what allowed you to kind of grow and take your time and not spend tons of money was the patience. To let it manifest, to let it get nurtured. If you want to do it fast, you have to spend more money, but it doesn't mean you're also more informed, and that can leave you also in a bad situation, right?
Yes.
So, you took time, which I think is like we just forget that things take time. If you're a millennial or whatnot, we kind of forget sometimes.
And you can see it too. If you were, I think this is with any business owner, if you were to go and scroll all the way down to the bottom of their page, you can see their growth as you go up the page. I love doing that. I love seeing where, business owners have come from. I'm like, oh boy, in the beginning they were taking a picture on the ground in the dirt. I mean, it's really cool to see how they've grown as you scroll back up to the top of their page, and I do that a lot with myself, and it's kind of humbling, and I'm just like, man, you brought me so far, and I'm doing it. Like, I'm teaching myself how to do this, and I said, Lord, this is awesome. And I appreciate it more.
No, for sure. Everyone watching this is proud right now that I'm wearing a regular shirt and not a t-shirt like I was at the gym. So, I 100% agree with you.
Like, yes.
She's planned out. She got a shirt on. All right, we're on the road. But they do. They follow you. They do. They do see it, and you're right. And
funny.
That's funny. But it's the truth, because to your point, it's like you're learning, and you can only absorb so much in a moment, right? So it's like, what are you going to focus on? What's the beginning? It's like. And please share, like, what was the most important thing for me? It was like, just do the video every day. Just do it every day. Doesn't matter what's going on, just get it done. So, like, what was your kind of like, just get this thing done when you were starting?
I would say not having an order. And I was going into my office and sitting down and making jewelry, and no one to buy it. Yeah. And I did that. And I was just like, and I really was, I was okay with it, like I wasn't frustrated. I was okay because again, I think it goes back to I love to do this. I have a passion for doing this. So I would go in there. I'm telling you, I would go in there and I would make jewelry, make necklaces, and didn't have an order coming through. But now, I can't, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stop the orders from coming. I'm trying to, girl, I was just like, I'm shipping all this stuff out and I'm like, OMG, but I have a great helpmate and family that pitches in, when I need them. But yes, not having anything online to sell, but still in there making jewelry. That I thought that was like, okay, I really like what I do. Like
Gotcha.
I'm patient, back to patience. I'm patient. And, if you just keep on doing it, because sometimes God want to see if you're going to give up on it, if you're going to quit.
Right.
So, I had it.
Like. No, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And I know someone, and I don't know when this post came in, Jean, I'm assuming. So I just came in, what is the subject? I'm like, life? I don't know. The subject is patience, really. And we're talking through Patrece's business and how she developed and grew her business. We're just talking about kind of the trials and tribulations that you go through to make sure that, at the end of the day, it's you and your business, it's you and your baby. You got to make sure it works and what that looks like. Yeah. So for everyone who just came in, who's watching, that's what we're talking about right now. For sure. And the thing is, I share this on multiple pages, so I don't even know if like people are commenting everywhere. It's gonna have to get worked out on the back end. I'm gonna send you 85 questions at the end. Like, so I'm sorry, Patrice. Here's a list of questions I did not answer. But yes, we'll make sure we send those over to her as well. Talk to me a little bit about the nonprofit that you are. I don't know if it's a fully nonprofit or just the work that you're doing.
It's not yet. Right now, I basically just launched it prematurely. Because I just want to get it out there. It's not a nonprofit yet, but I will be working on that. But it's called I Create. And I just work with young girls. And basically, I just go in and teach them how to create wearable art that you can also sell or make wealth from. So I do know that my daughter, she stays busy with whatever. I mean, it's crazy, like cutting up fabric. And I noticed that, and I was just like, I just want to cultivate that. I want to nourish that. So I sat her down and I was like, okay, what are you interested in? What do you want to do? Because sometimes I think as parents, we look over that. We don't really pay attention to the creativeness. We're there for the football, we're there for the basketball, for the dance, but we're not really there for the creative side of a child. So, and I know that, I've experienced that, because I was very creative. No one got me when I was younger. So I guess it's really a soft spot with me. It hits a soft spot. And I do like to share that with young girls. And I, just to let everyone know that's watching, I offer this class to nonprofit organizations for free. So I will come, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
And I have so many people from Dallas-Fort Worth watching this show, so you just have to get blown up, just so you know.
If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I will come to your church, whether it's a church ministry group, organization, girls group, whatever it is, and I will teach your young ladies how to make jewelry or whatever the craft is. I will teach them how to do that for free, and I will bring the supplies.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So that's me giving back. That's how I can give back. So
gotcha.
God gave me this, and that's how I give back to the community.
And someone else had a question here, and I want to say that I love that you haven't made it into a nonprofit yet, because what it also shows, again, is that maturity to go like, I have to nurture these things and get them stable and healthy before I kind of jump into this formality or jump into this obligation that I'm not prepared to make good on, right? And so there's something about what you're doing, which is awesome, which I wish more people did, which is like the experimentation of like, how is this really going to work before I put my kind of full stamp on it, which just gives you time.
Yes. And I mean, it's a lot of money put into it, so
Yeah.
you really got to kind of babysit it a little bit, and see, it may not be for you, or, it may not work the way you wanted it to work. You might have to get some kinks out of it. So
Mhm.
that's, I'm gonna babysit it for a little bit and see where it goes. But I do have a passion for giving back to young girls like myself.
Yeah, for sure. Then I want to ask, this is a Cassie, I had a question I'm going to ask you. It's a multi question ABC, so I'm going to go with A for now. With the influx of retailers that are almost in every major shopping center, how has your online business been affected, if any, in comparison to shoppers, who could walk inside a store and just purchase their product? So how has just kind of the proliferation of, like, you can buy everything anywhere, is
Yes.
that affecting your business? How has that affected your business?
It's hard. I will say that it is hard. It is a constant. Your money is going to come from your community, from your
Mhm.
followers,
Mhm.
so the more followers you have, the more they're going to pour into your business.
Mhm.
You have to live, eat, breathe social media.
Mhm.
Like, you have to stay on top of social media,
Yeah.
and for me personally, once I conquer social media, then maybe I'll think about getting a storefront, but
Mhm.
to me, there's no point in getting a storefront until you have conquered social media, because social media is where it's at, because you're not paying overhead.
Yeah.
So if you
100%.
cannot pay overhead, that's a plus. But
Right.
I will say, to her question, it is hard, because they can just go out, to the store and buy it. But it's crazy. And that's where I say my God is big enough, because
Mhm.
people, they're keeping my doors open,
Yeah. Well,
so
convenience
yeah.
matters, and I think we start when I'm going to get a little heady right now, but with this idea, but a lot of people in the world, like young people, whether or not they see themselves middle, upper, lower class, whatever, convenience has trickled down as something that everyone can access. Everyone can get an Uber. Everyone can
Yes.
get Instacart. Everyone can get Amazon Prime. And so we've taken what historically has been a luxury opportunity to get something really fast and allowed
Mm-hmm.
everyone to get it and everyone to think that they have the right to get it. I mean, I had a woman tell me she gets the meal delivery service, like the pre-made, like the plated meals from Walmart. Like Walmart has their own food delivery meal prep program that they ship. I was like,
Yes.
what? I didn't even know Walmart did that. Like, so like there's a lot. So you're tapping into something that's interesting about this moment where convenience is paramount, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that beats convenience is just in time, which is why I would go to the store in an emergency to get that necklace. But if I'm not in an emergency, then this is way
Yes.
more convenient,
Yes. Yes.
right? And
And
so you're
then
gonna win
it's
every time.
Yeah, and it's how different you are too. Like,
Mhm.
okay, how different is my product from this person's product?
Right.
Or a lot of people, a lot of women, it's about being unique. Like, they want to
Hmm.
feel like nobody else has that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, oh, I'm gonna go over here and get this because I feel like nobody else is gonna have that on at where I'm going. So
Hmm.
a lot of ladies that reach out to me, they want that different. They want something that they don't want mass produced. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was at an event where I had the same dress on as someone else. I mean, I wasn't mad because like Haitians think alike and we were all Haitians, so I'm like, I get it. But I
Yeah.
was a little sad because we were in the same exact outfit. So
Girl.
I feel you. I feel you. Another question she asked, which is a pretty, I'll let you think on this one. What is the source of Chicks and Caboodle's survival?
I think the source of my survival is being grounded in the Word, grounded in the
Hmm.
Word of God, and having Him as the biggest player on my team. I think
Hmm.
I think that is why I'm successful, because I'm built on a good foundation.
Hmm.
And another thing is social media.
Hmm.
Just pumping ads, networking,
Hmm.
teaming up with a blogger, and really just teaming up with different women that are in the industry that you're in. You know, I will just say fashion. You know, I'll just say it as a whole, as like the fashion industry or whatever. But teaming up with different women and just doing different things, again, you have to have different streams of revenue coming in. You know, you can't just limit it to the custom beaded necklace chicks and caboodles. You know, so I have a lot going on that brings in, you know, all of the extra cash flow that I need. But yeah, I think the success of the business is really counting your dollars, you know, because, you know, a lot of people, you want to put back in your business, you want to save, you know, so save your money, you know, and getting those conversions, you know, on Facebook, on the website, the conversions are key, you know, converting that shopper to a customer.
Yeah, I'll say, like, let's talk some strategy, because I would like to hear your thoughts around the social media, because a lot of people just don't have one. It's like, just post and we'll see, right? You talk conversions, which I love, because I always tell people it's not about engagement, it's about conversions, like hands down every time. So I'd love to hear a little bit about what is your social media strategy. And when I say that, what I mean is, how often do you post? You know, how do you stay committed to posting? Are you doing email marketing? You know, so how are you approaching leveraging social media to actually make sales?
Okay, so basically, and I guess it's depending on where you are as a company. You know, if you're making a lot of money as a business owner, then you can use the email, I don't know if they call it e-blast or whatever, where your customers or client would get an email. That is really expensive. So I'm not doing that. But you do have to stay up on your social media. So what I would really suggest is scheduling. You know, they have it where either on Facebook, on Instagram, you can just schedule your post out. So for the most part during the day, I'm busy. Like if I'm not shipping out product, I'm making product. So I can't really stay on there like I want to during the day. So at night, before I'm going to bed, you know, like when I'm at my point to where I'm not as busy, that's when I schedule all of my Facebook and my social media posts, you know. And I do know they have apps out now that you can kind of
you can schedule it way in advance.
I think it's Hoot. I think there's one called
Hootsuite and Buffer.
Yeah, you know, but I don't use it because you can schedule it there. They have that option for you to schedule it. I know Facebook does and Instagram does. So, I mean, I stay on top of it. And I guess because this is what I do full time, you know, so I can stay on top of it well. But I would just say block out a time. Like I have times that are blocked out. Early morning, you know, in the morning, I'll sit down and I list out what I need to do. I'll do my social media post. After my social media post, then I'm off to work. You know, if there's something that I didn't get in that night, that I didn't schedule that night, and I needed to post something that morning, just block your times out. You know, block out your times and stay faithful to those times, and just be like, okay, at this time, okay, it's work time. But you do have to stay on top of social media. You do have to stay on top of it.
Are you just are your platforms Instagram and Facebook?
Yes, right now.
Are you on Twitter or Pinterest?
I'm on Twitter. I am on Twitter. Now, Pinterest, they charge, you know. So, yes. So if anybody didn't know that out there, I'll let you know. Pinterest charge. So if you wanted to connect your business through Pinterest, they're going to charge you a fee. Yeah. So I don't know what that fee is, but I'm not. Yeah. Not to be connected. I didn't think it was worth it. So.
Yeah, I mean, Pinterest does have a particular algorithm. They do have high conversion. So every place has a different business model, and they're a little bit into their own space. But yeah, I think it's good to hear, because I think a lot of times, to your point, like people struggle with. I always tell people start with one platform first. You don't have to be everywhere on the internet to make a sale.
I would. My suggestion. I started out with Facebook. So
that's right.
You need to master that first. Master. I would say master one first. And once you feel like you've gotten a hold of that one, okay, now let's branch out, because that's what I did. I branched out from Facebook, and then I went to Instagram, and I started Instagram, and then I started the Twitter, which I'm still like, oh, Twitter is kind of,
Yeah.
it's a different beast for me,
Beast.
but
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
different beast.
And
Well,
we're
especially
not gonna
because
get on
you're
Snapchat.
visual. Your product's visual. So you can put pictures
Yeah,
in Twitter. Twitter works for certain things. So everything
yeah,
has their leverage point, and you have to kind of know what that is. Right.
yeah.
Got it. That makes sense. Talk to me a little bit about just like the back office of your business. Like, are you doing your own accounting? Do you have an accountant who does your, like, do you ever have legal review? Like, what kind of things are in your back office?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say my husband is in charge of all of that.
Okay.
I mean, I keep all receipts. I
Mhm.
have a filing system, because of course, tax season just hit. So tax season is here.
Yep.
Yeah, he takes care of all of that. We don't have an attorney yet,
Okay.
but yeah, so we haven't looked at that yet, but yeah, he's pretty good. He has a background in business and marketing.
I got you. So he's doing
Mhm.
like your financial, he's not just doing your accounting, he's also doing like,
Mhm.
are you guys doing financial models? Like, are you
Yeah,
actually saying like, here's my base case, my best case, my worst case, here's my goal? Are you doing all
yeah,
that?
yes, where your numbers,
Awesome.
you broke even, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. For everyone who's
All of
watching,
that.
I'm getting in the weeds right now. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to understand because no one talks about that. They think that when someone says, are you managing your money? They think, oh, my budgeting. But there's
Yes,
a
no.
whole other part, which is the modeling
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
like, what are the scenarios, right? With
Yeah.
my business how do I know if a business is going to hit the goal or if it's going to get me that certain level of profitability or if I can plan for the next big thing? That's modeling and that's not accounting.
Yes.
Most people
Yeah.
can budget, at least budget well enough to give that stuff to H&R Block and get their stuff done. Most people can do that. The modeling actually is quite difficult.
Yes, yes, and that's why he helps a lot, because I'm not really a numbers oriented,
Mhm.
breaking down the numbers and knowing how, because it really, everything comes into play, your packaging,
Yep.
like it's dime for dime, so you have to know all of that, and how much you spent on all your packaging divided by this, so yes.
The unit
Uh,
economics and everything have to be.
Yes, yes, so everything, yeah. So we kind of have a powwow, and I bring all the spreadsheets out, and we basically go over whether we broke even, okay, we did this, so okay, what are we gonna do differently? What new stream of income are you gonna bring in? What are you looking to do this year? So
Mhm.
yes, we do
How often do
have.
you guys do that? Is it quarterly? Is it monthly? Is it just annually?
Well, we meet on a monthly basis, but we also have to have the quarterly meeting too. So
Okay.
yeah, we're always talking about looking
That.
at the grid and the graph of how we're doing, so because we have
This is
the
something everyone should do. Like,
yes,
once you figure out what your repeatable business model is, once you figure out how to make consistent cash flow, even if you haven't done it yet, if you're like, oh, I got 1 month or 2 months and I see it and it's coming and I'm seeing the repeatability of it, I'm like, go to business school, get an intern. Anybody can do this for you. It's the
mm-hmm,
most
mm-hmm.
critical thing because you think you know how to plan, but you really don't know how to plan financially the way you're supposed to. It's like the one thing that no one ever does that changes the game of
Yes,
their
yes.
business.
Yes, and if you are not, if you've never been a business owner, or if you don't have a background in business, it can be pretty daunting,
Yeah.
or it could shut you down,
Yeah.
So it's good to know, you have to know your numbers, basically, and that's what it is. You got to know your
Yep.
numbers.
Yep. Get a business school intern, go to the Chamber of Commerce, go to your, community or civic center. And they always have people that will either go to SCORE. There's a whole bunch of people and talk to them, not about your budget, but about your financial model. It's going to make a world of difference. And I wish more people talked about it because that's what it's like. All the scenarios are really hard. Like, well, if I sell it at $10, it's this. If I sell it at $12, it's this. If I have this
Yeah.
added, it's this. And it gets hard. So I'm glad that that's awesome that you're doing it. And
Hmm.
you can share that because I think people don't even realize if I do it once a year. It's like, oh no, I do it monthly and I do it quarterly.
You have to
It's
do it.
the
You have
yeah,
to see how much you made. Well,
yeah.
how am I doing this? Really, I'm on there every other
Yeah,
day. Like really, to be honest, like
yeah.
I'm checking and I'm seeing, okay, what's coming in? Okay, what do I need to pay? Because there's always a cost, when you're
Mhm.
doing business, so.
When did you first pick a number? Because I talk to people all the time and they're like, I want to be in business. I'm like, well, how much do you want to make? And they're like, oh, I never thought about that. And I'm like, interesting. Like, how do you
Yeah.
build if you don't know where you're trying to go? When was the first time you were like, I'm going to say out loud, this is how much I want to make? Like, when did that happen in the process?
I think that I've always said it, like I know that the day that I went to the court and I made it legal, but I've always said I wanted to leave my kids an inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that, I
Yeah.
want to leave them something, I want them to have something that if they didn't want to work for
Mm-hmm.
someone else, they can work for the family, or they
Mm-hmm.
could take,
Yeah.
they could take ownership,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that my girls get to see me in action,
Yeah.
and they may not understand it now, but when they get older, like, man, wow, mom, she was doing it, like
Yeah.
I can do that too,
Mm-hmm.
like I can own my own business, I can run my own company,
Mm-hmm.
so I've always said, and it's funny, but I always said I'm gonna be the next Stormin' Charlie. I said I'm gonna be the next Stormin' Charlie. I mean, I always speak it. I'm gonna make more than enough. I'm gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
lender and not a borrower.
Yeah.
So I'm multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
I've always said it. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what's gonna help my family. That's what's gonna leave them something. So
Yep. Yep.
uh, so
And that's
yeah.
awesome. I love that because I get so many women who are afraid to say that out loud. I get a lot of women who actually say this to me. They go, well, I'm not really greedy. I don't need to make $1 million. And I'm like, girl, we just started the conversation, but they're so afraid of of committing, or they're afraid of failing, or all that they can't say it out loud. And it doesn't mean that everyone has to make $1 million. You don't have to, but it's
Mhm.
kind of like, instead of saying what you don't need, talk to me what you do need, and start from that
Yeah.
perspective. Because you get to 250, maybe a million ain't that far away no more. Different
Yeah.
conversation at that point, right?
Yeah.
So why
And
would you stop before you
yeah, and don't limit yourself. You can't don't limit that.
start?
I'm not gonna limit myself. I can look at someone and I've said it. Oh, I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
person. I'm gonna do that. And I say it all the time, and I truly believe it. I truly believe
Hmm.
it. So yes.
Yeah. I'm loving it. Yeah. Do you number one most thing that made the most difference that got you to where you are today?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry. But if you look at your business now, what was the one thing a little bit? The clutch.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. No, you're here. Hold on one second. It's just we're back. We're back. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. Say it one more time. So I was saying, what's the one if you look at your business now, what's the one thing that either you did or that happened in the process that was the most impactful in terms of getting you to where
In terms of getting me to start my business.
no, in terms of looking at where you are today versus when you started your business? Like, what's something that happened in the last 4 years that made the difference, that got you to where you wanted to go, that got you to where you are now? What's one thing that you think that you did really, really well gotten you there?
I think that marketing myself, I think
Mm-hmm.
me being the face of my company, I really do think
Mm-hmm.
that has gotten me to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of women, they don't really see, like sometimes we're not afforded the opportunity to be on the cover of certain things, or be in those commercials, or be on that TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that me being the person, the image that they see wearing my jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that really made the difference. I think that really made my company what it is, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
so I've had a lot of women to reach out to me, and they're just like, I think it's so awesome that you're the face of your company. I think that's so awesome. So I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it resonated, you know, but I really do feel like that has been successful for me. I think that has grown my business. I mean, I am such a people person, and
Yeah.
I'm so approachable, you know, so I think that
Yeah.
helped, you know, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't, you know, you have to be loving, you have to have a kind spirit to even, you know, go and sell yourself, you know, sell your stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's what helped. I think that helped.
And I think everyone who's watching this and watches replay really hear so many women who say, you know, I want to be behind the scenes, or I don't want my face on my page. You know, you can't start a business from a place of fear. You can have
Hmm.
nerves, you can have anxiety, maybe some excitement, whatever, but you can't start from fear. If you're afraid to show yourself, then you're not going to
Yeah.
get very far in your business. The fact that that's what you're saying is monumental for people to listen to that and go, you know what, I need to step out from behind this and
Hmm.
let people see me.
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
huge
why
impact.
not? You know,
Yeah.
like, why not? You know, I just, I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been rejected long enough. Like, do it yourself. Like, get out there, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
just go for it, you know. And I mean, I did. Now, I'm not gonna say I wasn't fearful at times, you know. Oh, I wonder what people are gonna think, you know. Oh, maybe this post isn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
you know, ultimately I did it, and I kept doing it, you know, and I haven't given
Mm-hmm.
up on it, you know. And I think another successful thing for me is that I haven't given up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people, they still see me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know, don't
And
give
that makes the
up.
most difference, the consistency. I mean,
Hmm.
that's yeah, you're just still there. That 90% of people fail in their business because they just stop doing it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not because it was a bad idea, they just stopped doing it.
Just stop, you know. So, to all you stoppers
So
out there, pick it back up. Let's go.
there you go. There you go. Any last comments, words of wisdom, things you want to share with the community of Black women entrepreneurs and people following their dreams?
Yeah, you know, go for it. Do it. Keep doing it. Don't give up. It's not going to be easy. Keep pressing. Uh, prayer, you know, your just love what you do, what you love what you do, and just get in some good classes, you know. Take advantage of Miss Dominique here. She has probably some awesome business courses, you know, that she's offering. So I would take advantage, learn your craft, learn your business, and just be bold, be bad, and just do the daggone
Go
thing.
ahead.
Okay.
Awesome. So I will thank you so much, Patrece, for being on the Black Women's Guide show. I will put the link, but you can also go to her store, and I will also have her like Instagram and Facebook as well. So you'll see that popping up. And if you want to reach her, you can reach her directly on her Facebook page at Chicks and Caboodle. So you can go right there right now and like it and share it and all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next week for our and everyone have a wonderful night.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dominique. Have a blessed one.
You too, you too. So I'm gonna at this point we're gonna get live. Bye guys.
So, baby, you couldn't even go on and look at it.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So yeah, it will take me about